I'm Bernadette. We're both in South San Pedro neighborhood in the International District. This is Enrique Cardiel. We're just going to go over some of the statistics of the neighborhood really quick, and who best to do it is someone who lived there for a very long time.
I'm like her, I'm 39, but I've been there like 20 years. I facilitate the International District Healthy Communities Coalition, and I'm also a member of South San Pedro Neighborhood Association. And we live in a neighborhood where there's as many people in our neighborhood as there are in the town of Belen, right? So a little bit more compact than other parts, 27 languages. And we have a lot of neighbors that don't have an address, right? A lot of other neighborhood associations see them as a problem. We see them as our neighbors. A lot of them have lived there as long as many of us have. And there's a lot of issues. So what we've decided to do with the coalition and the neighborhood association is focus less on the policing aspect and focus more on how do we contribute to solving some of the problems, right? So we only have the APD at 1 or 2 meetings a year. The rest of the time it's us looking for solutions. Safety is a big issue. We live right off of Central. So that's always going to be a big issue. As long as they're central, we have the casino that we fought against, but it's there. And so our neighborhood is dark. It has a lot of people and the same amount of lights as everywhere else, so there's lots of dark space. So one of the solutions that we came up with is putting in lights. And I'm going to let Bernadette talk about that part.
Hello, everyone. Well, first we took a trip to Cincinnati, Ohio, and they had this really cool solution of putting in walking trails, but also lighting was an issue. So they decided to put up their own poles, 12-foot poles, and put really nice decorative lights up. And when we went out, we saw about on the internet, we thought this is a really cool idea. Let's take advantage of seeing how they do this. Let's go over there and see how we can fix our own neighborhood. So we went over there and we found out they did not have any lights up because they decided to ask the city and the government to help them because they wanted to put them in city and government spaces like parks and stuff. So that was a halt. It ended. So they have piles and piles of lights in a back lot somewhere. So we thought, how can we get around that? So we had already been doing community gardens in people's homes and doing rain gardens. So we decided to say, let's ask these, our community members if they need a light, if they're having problems, around the neighborhood with some safety issues, and see what we can do to help them. And so we decided to start Light the District. And it's not only lights, we also do safety audits, street audits. We walk around, do community walks. We mark where there's like a pothole or broken bench, and we call 311, or you can also tweet 311 and get it posted right away, and they can see where it is. You put the cross streets and everything. We also found out that every light post has a little number on it, and you can actually give them that number, and they can come take a look at it and see which ones are out or on or just going on at the wrong time. Some of them go on in a day, so it's really weird. We noticed these things, and now we partnered with a lot of schools. The Asian Family Center, who wanted to do Pokemon walks, we decided to go out with them, and they noticed a lot of more things than I did. So it was really cool partnering with the kids. So what we did is we got a 12-foot, 14-foot pole, pressure treated, dug a hole, put a 150 LED solar light on the pole, and we put it along some walking paths. But now we're up to 20 lights now, but we had a lot of elderly people in our community who needed alley lights. So we went ahead and put a lot of alley lights in. But what was those who could afford it did pay for. It's about $100 for a light with a pole, and those who could not, we fundraised and we put the light for them.
Yeah, so we were just looking for opportunities to provide the solutions, right? We know PNM's not going to be able to do all the lighting. The city's not going to be able to do all the lighting needed. So we stuck to private property, which is why the group that inspired us from Cincinnati still has their poles sitting in the garage somewhere, and we have 20 lights up because we didn't go through the city. And it's not to talk bad about anybody, it's just we know that becomes a process, right? And right now our process is, can we afford the lights? Presbyterian Community Health funded 10 lights in partnership. There's a neighborhood ministry that's going to start fundraising for some more lights. Members of the organizations have pitched in whenever we have extra money, and sometimes people pitch in for their own lights, whether it's $20 or the full price. We raise money. We have 2 regular pole diggers, and so we try to give them money every time we can, because that really, at the end of it, is the hardest part of everything, is digging those holes. And so we've had neighborhoods upset with us because we don't put lights in their neighborhood. I'm not gonna name names. But we said we're focusing here, and it's really not complicated. It's really just as simple as call 811, find out where you can put a pole, dig the hole, get some concrete, put it in. It's not hard, it's just get into it. Some of these lights, depending on the time of the year and where it's at, we have events. So we'll have music and munchies and stuff, and people from the, down the street want to know what's going on. They'll come over, and so we're starting to slowly get more interest that way. And I think really it's just been something that helps us build community. People that don't like to come to meetings or can't come to meetings find out about it because they see us having cookies in their neighbor's yard digging a hole. And then we start talking, and we all know feeling safe is important. And so, and I'm one of those folks, I don't think I should ask people to do something I won't do. So the first light, the one that's the most crooked, is in my front yard. Because we had high school student volunteers come in. It was snowing that day. So they just dug the hole, dropped it, and left. So it's got a little bit of a lean. But when I go out in the morning, if it's dark, somebody's walking by, they'll thank me, hey, thanks for the light, and I'm able to talk to them and engage and meet more neighbors that would have normally just been walking by. And it's mostly women, right, that walk around, walk their dogs in the morning or something, that say, I know on this street, if I'm not feeling comfortable, I can come hang out by the light, pretend I'm just hanging out here with my dog, and have a little bit of sense of safety. And I think that's just been helpful. And we have a huge area, and 20 lights isn't near enough, but we're going to just keep doing it, because it's really, at the end, it's the neighbors taking control of their own community this way.